Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You already know it's time to grab a cup of joe and enjoy the show. We have a jammed-packed show for you today, so let's get started. First up, the actors of Summit City Music Theater join me for a sit-down as I learn all about their entertainment careers and upcoming performance in the hit musical The Producers, with the final shows happening this weekend. Then we dive into the gaming world as I learn about the Works 2024 eSports competition taking place this weekend at Electric Works. And later, we honor PTSD Awareness Day by chatting with ICAN, a local veteran support organization. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
The Summit City Music Theater is bringing the comedy that swept the Tony Awards to a life on stage this summer. The musical The Producers is headed to their final shows this weekend at Carroll High School. And with me in studio today is Gavin Drew, actor and artistic director for Summit City Music Theater, and actors Natalie and Caleb. Hello, good morning.
Hi,
how you guys doing?
Good.
Well, welcome in. I know that you all have been doing this play now for a couple of weeks and you're headed to your final weekend. Okay, so let's start off by talking about The Producers musical. I mean, it is a classic, based off the 1967 film. So tell us a little bit about the storyline.
Well, the storyline is that we have this faded Broadway producer, Max Bialystock, who joins an accountant, Leo Bloom, a neurotic accountant, and they decide to put on the most offensive musical possible in the hopes to make $2 million by closing the show in one night. And it's all the crazy characters that we meet along the way.
Yes, okay. And so you are actually acting in this as well, on top of being the artistic director, and you were playing who?
I'm playing Leo Bloom, the accountant, originally played by Gene Wilder and Matthew Broderick in the film.
Okay, perfect. And who are you playing, Caleb?
I'm playing Franz Liebkind.
Okay.
He's the crazy German playwright for the show that they choose to perform to offend everyone.
Yes.
So.
And Natalie?
And I play Ulla. She's a Swedish girl. She is an aspiring actress, showgirl, and then she ends up being Max and Leo's secretary.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about this experience. How has working on this play been so far?
So much fun. This is actually my first show I've done in a while, and so coming into Summit City Music Theater as a new person, everyone's been very kind and very helpful to getting me to show my confidence on stage. So the entire process has been very professional, and we've just sort of been like a huge family. That's what it feels like by the end of our show run.
I love that.
Yeah.
That just community and connecting.
Yeah.
I mean, you just kind of hit it all together on stage because you have to have that vibe and chemistry, right?
Yes.
And so, Caleb, tell me a little bit about your experience and why doing this play in particular has been really cool.
Well, my dad plays the lead role, Max Bialystock, so it's really cool to get to play alongside my dad in a show. I've gotten to do this before when I was in like the 5th grade, but to do it this time and have a bigger role with my dad and get to interact with him in scenes has been really, really fun.
Yeah, that is great. And Gavin, share with me a bit about why you all decided to choose this play in particular.
Well, it's a difficult time that we're living in, and so everybody just needs some laughter, and this show will bring it.
Yeah.
It is a Mel Brooks classic. We all love Blazing Saddles and Spaceballs and Young Frankenstein, and this is his first film, which got turned into a musical, and it's just a million laughs a minute. So,
That's so cool. Okay, so let's talk about Summit Musical Theater for a moment. So you all are a nonprofit, have been around for like 6 years. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
What I love when I was looking into what you all put on is that you change your locations. So with this play, you're at Carroll High School, but then over the next couple of shows, you'll be in different places. So talk to me about how this theater started and what you all hope to bring to the community.
Well, this theater started with our 4 co-founders, and the plot was hatched in a basement. They were hanging out and they were like, it would be cool to start a theater company. And with a lot of small theaters, it's hard to find a home venue. So we kind of took that and decided, hey, this is going to be our identity, is kind of floating around and bringing theater to different places that you might not typically see a show in. We do a Christmas Carol every year in the Solomon Farm barn. We've done Little Shop of Horrors in the Conley's Do It Best greenhouse. So it's just something really cool, and I think audiences connect with the experience of it all, because it's not just going to a show, it's like a full experience.
Right, and you are professional actors, and so though it's at a high school, this is not a high school production.
Correct.
Okay, so
correct.
that's important to say. And then, so this is happening this upcoming weekend, like I said, it's the last show, and then you all will be moving into Guys and Dolls in July. So tell me about that production.
So last year we started a concert series of classic musicals, and so we are committed to doing that every summer. We use Dr. Kevin McMahon over at PFW and our music director Mindy Cox, and we get the community orchestra and some students involved, and we bring a concert production of a show to life. So there's no scenery, but it's the full show with a 32-piece orchestra on stage.
Wow.
So that's super
incredible.
cool. We're excited about that. That is the last 2 weekends of July over at the Performance Hall inside of the PFW Music Center.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And so, Caleb, are you performing in any of the shows this year?
I am in Guys and Dolls, yes.
Okay.
I'll be in the ensemble for that one. Also really excited for that because a lot of my friends who are doing producers are also doing Guys and Dolls. And also to just be able to sing a show that's just a classic with a 40-piece orchestra is really cool.
Okay, so that one's a musical as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so you all can sing?
I hope so.
Sometimes.
I certainly hope so.
I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I mean,
But so Natalie,
make
are
us
you going to
sing.
be in any of the upcoming productions as well?
No, I'm only in the producers for now.
Okay, awesome. And so what would you kind of say to someone who's thinking about, like, maybe I should join, the ensemble or try out to be a part of this production or future ones?
Oh, I think they definitely should, and I think that Summit City Music Theater is the perfect place to try that out. Because like I said, everyone's so welcoming, and it's just a great community, and I think it would be a really great experience. Great start.
Yeah.
And we are so committed to making an inclusive environment for people of all abilities, whether you're neurotypical or neurodivergent, or you have never done a show before. We want to welcome you in, show you the process of how we put on a show, and make you part of our family.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And you all make it accessible really to the audience as well. I mean, $25 for tickets, which are great, and people can just go online to make that purchase, right?
Yes, at summitcitymt.com.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. Good luck on your final show. It's been great learning more about you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you'd like more information about the musical The Producers, they are headed into their final shows this weekend. As I said, we'll have their website listed below for more information to get your tickets. And I'll see you after the break.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
Attention all gamers, if you are interested in learning more about this fabulous The Works gaming competition happening this weekend at Electric Works, well, I got you covered. Today, joining me is Landon Frank, their co-owner and head event organizer, and Alex Anderson, their head graphic designer. Hello, good morning, gentlemen.
Thank you so
How are
much,
you guys
Jessica.
doing?
Good. We're super excited to be here.
Yes, well, I'm happy to have you here to learn all about this event. Okay, so gaming, eSports. I mean, I know the world kind of knows what is it, but kind of break down what is this gaming sport?
Yeah, so this is we run eSports events. This is for a fighting game tournament. So basically, players go and they play for a double elimination bracket, playing up against tons of different players that are traveling from the Midwest, mostly located in Indiana. But they're also fighting for rankings and prize pools. So.
Oh, wow. That's really exciting. Okay, so what games are being played exactly? So is it certain consoles? I know that this is presented by Nintendo, so is it only Nintendo consoles that you all are playing?
So we're a licensed Nintendo event, so we run Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Super Smash Bros. Melee, but then we also have another fighting game called Rivals 2 that we run as well. So we're pretty focused in on those few games for Odyssey.
For Odyssey, okay. And so let's talk about just what this competition weekend looks like. It's 2 days, and you're going to have so many people traveling in. About how many people do you all expect?
We're expecting about 200 for this event, which is really exciting. We have different players from New Jersey, Texas, flying in for the event, and then players coming in all over the Midwest too. So.
Okay, and I know that people can come and participate in the game, but they can also watch as spectators, correct?
Yeah, it's a spectator event. It'll be streamed on Collision Series TV.
Yep, and Odyssey eSports ICAN.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a thing that people can just watch online. They can watch in person because there'll be spectator passes and whatnot. And so it's a whole, like, it's not just like a competing event. There's also like a spectating aspect of it as well. Yeah.
Okay, great. And I know it's only like $20 to watch as a spectator, $25 to $50 to participate.
Yeah.
Which is great. So those who are at home playing, they can just come out. And so are there any prerequisites or qualifiers to be able to compete?
No, you can. Anyone can play. It doesn't matter age-wise, doesn't matter skill-wise. We're open to everyone. We'd love as many people. It doesn't matter how good you are. I started as a beginner. Everyone starts as a beginner. So you can just kind of come and check it out. Even if you don't feel like you're ready for a tournament, you can still just come and watch the amazing crowds because we had some crazy like upsets and like reactions last year. So
Right. Okay, so break down the specific games. So if people are competing, they probably have to be really skilled at these specific games that you're playing, right? So what are those?
So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that's a fighting game on the Nintendo Switch with a bunch of different Nintendo characters. And then Super Smash Bros. Melee, that's one on the Nintendo GameCube from 2001. So that's an older one, but people still play it. Those are the two main games. Those are the two biggest games. So.
Okay, and I'm assuming you both are gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so Alex, kind of share with me what you're most looking forward to with this competition.
I just think the community aspect of it is something that's really important to me. Because like you can show up to these events and be like, okay, there's like 30 or 40 people that I only see at these events, right? And so I get to talk to them again, right?
Yeah.
And I get to see how they've been doing, catch up, right? And then also like talk about the game and like it's like in any sport, right? Or you can talk about baseball or if you're in basketball, right? You can talk about that sport to other people in it, right?
Yeah.
So there's just this big community aspect of it that I just love. For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, Landon, you being one of the co-owners of this event, like, what was that process like trying to build just this huge event to help out with this coalition of folks who love to play games?
It's been crazy, and I did not think I would be where we were a year and a half ago when we started this. Last year was our first Smashworks. We had like 200 players. It was the biggest tournament in Indiana history at that point, which was just crazy to see it from basically 6 months start up from that, where we're hosting events in this office space with 20 people from Fort Wayne. It's just crazy to build it up from that level, so.
That's great. And let's talk about the venue. This will be at Electric Works. And you say what facility within Electric Works?
It'll be in the GE gym, so it's just this huge gym with a nice stage, tons of space, and then we're also like a block away from the Union Street Market, so people can just walk over there and get some food there as well. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's taking place Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 9.
Yep.
So all day long, y'all will be playing.
Yeah, people can just stop by whenever, basically. They can watch the matches and stuff, so yeah.
And is there a deadline to be able to register to participate?
Yeah, so tournament registration ends on Sunday.
Okay.
So by the time this is airing, it'll probably be closed, but anyone can still sign up and be a spectator or participate in some of the side events too.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And if you'd like more information about the Odyssey eSport LLC's The Works happening this upcoming weekend on Saturday and Sunday, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
This segment sponsored by ICAN. ICAN is a veteran services program that provides well-trained service dogs for veterans in Indiana with service-related trauma specific to PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and military sexual trauma. And joining me to share more about their organization is Doug Samuels, ICAN board member, and Lima, an ICAN dog. Good morning.
Morning.
How's
How are
it
you?
going?
Good.
Good. Okay, we have a special guest here.
We do.
You, of course, and then Lima.
Right. Yeah, Lima is a service dog in training with ICAN, which is Indiana Canine Assistant Network.
Yes. Okay, so share with me more about this interesting organization.
Sure. ICAN was founded a little over 20 years ago, and what we do is we train service dogs. We're also educating the public as well, but obviously we're training service dogs for a variety of roles. We're a not-for-profit organization, so we receive no government funding. Everything is a private donation, either from individuals or from corporations. We're headquartered out of Indianapolis. We also have an office here in the Fort Wayne area.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And so June 27th is PTSD Awareness Day, and you all really get involved in that day and help support veterans. So share with me how you help people living with PTSD.
Right. So PTSD affects a lot of our veterans in a variety of different ways. I think a lot of us automatically just think, well, it's loud noises that bother someone, and that's not really true. I mean, there's a lot of other issues out there that these veterans have. Sometimes it might be just going out into public and they can't function or get around. They're too worried about somebody being behind them or coming up behind them, or they're worried about different issues, other people. Maybe it's even things that happen to them outside of the actual war that they might have been involved in. Maybe it was sexual trauma, things like that. So these dogs provide an excellent service to our veterans. They can do many different things, such as the mobility assistance, maybe picking up a phone or opening a door or things like that. But they're also helping out with psychiatric issues as well. They can alert a veteran whenever they're having an episode. Maybe it's a nightmare or a night terror, and they can actually come and nudge them and wake them up. They're trained to do deep tissue pressure therapy, so they might come and lay on their legs or across their chest or something like that to help calm that individual down. And a lot of times the veteran may not even recognize that they're starting to feel that way, but these dogs can be trained to sense that.
That's so fascinating. And so I didn't realize that dogs could be so intellectual in that way to know how to apply certain pressures, or like you said, to nudge them if they notice their owners going through something. So what is that training like to get an animal to really understand those symptoms?
We know that's a great question. I mean, we've got the primary training is done by our prisoner handlers down in Indianapolis. We have 3 different prisons down there that they go through, and they're providing the majority of that training. They're brought into the system right around 16 weeks old, and then they will be placed with a prisoner handler for 6 weeks, and then they will come out to a furlough volunteer such as myself for 3 weeks.
So I understand when dogs are getting placed with a veteran, there's so many different options. Number one, you want to make sure they're compatible. And then number two, there's different breeds. So kind of explain to me that process.
Oh, sure. Yes. Obviously, all the dogs that are out in the world, we all know that they all have different personalities, and we all have different personalities. So it's a very specific process to go through, have different veterans, try some different dogs, see what kind of personality works out best. We also, and they will work with our individual to train with the dog and various dogs through different scenarios, both in the office and also maybe at Lowe's or a local business or the parks, things like that. But in terms of the dogs themselves, it's a variety. I mean, everybody kind of thinks, oh, well, police dogs, that's German Shepherds, and maybe Labs are service dogs. But we span the gamut on all types of dogs, especially for our veterans. We've got everything from a Golden Doodle Pyrenees mix. We've got Labs. We also have a Yorkshire Terrier as a service dog in training. These dogs, again, for what they can provide, whether it be just alerting, maybe alerting the person that they're so nervous that they need to be pulled out of the room or shown where's the nearest door. That's what these dogs can do. And they can do that from any size of dog, whether it be a large dog or a very small dog.
Or a little one. That's so cool. And what about the cost? How much does an ICAN dog cost to a veteran?
Right. So the interesting part about this program is it's very unique in that we are taking the full cost of this dog, about $25,000 after the full 2 years. that we're doing. But then at the point where it's time for an individual to get the dog, our military veterans pay nothing for the dog.
Oh, wow.
So the veterans are able to get a service dog at no cost, and they will be able to keep that dog then for their entire life or until the dog's life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so powerful. That's a lot of cost that you all have to
Right.
take. And so how can people get involved, either learning more or support your organization?
Right. Well, there is ICAN Dog is the website, and that's icandog.org. And if people go out to that website, they can find all sorts of information about the program itself, the individuals working there, the different programs that we have and what we support. But then there's also places to choose to become a volunteer and also to donate. As I said, we rely fully on private donations for our organization. So we're always in need of volunteers. We're always in need of those donations. Especially here in the Fort Wayne area, we've just gotten started in the last year, so we're always looking for veterans or for volunteers.
Yeah.
And we could really use all the help we can get. And that spans anywhere from a furlough volunteer, such as myself. It might just be an ambassador, so going out into the public and talking to the public about service dogs and about ICAN.
Yeah.
So there's a variety of different ways that we can have volunteers become involved.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Doug, for sharing about your organization. I found it really fascinating. And thank you, Lima, for what you do. She's so pretty. And if you would like more information about ICAN, we'll have their website listed below to support this organization, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by ICAN.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the show. And remember, you can always catch up on episodes and segments of Living Local 15 by going to WANE.com, downloading the WANE app, and also checking us out on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this. It's never too late to live your best life, so start living it today. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.